All right. We are good to go. We've got everybody's in their box. Audio's working. What else? What else we got? Titles, socials, our cute little logos in there now.
Don't put a label on me.
You need it though so that they know your name.
I don't want a label. I just want to be me.
You are.
Okay.
That's what your label says. It says who you are. That's it. I'm not putting you in it's not a specific box. It's just a colorful
You
one.
put me in a box.
It's a colorful one.
Doesn't matter.
Oh well.
You put me in a box and you labeled me.
Yeah, Liv.
Pretty sure you closed it up with duct tape too.
Sounds about right. I got some pretty pink ones. Pretty pink duct tape.
Okay.
But it's pink.
I had ducks on duct tape before. It was pretty cute.
That's cute.
I liked it. Anyway, this is not about duct tape. So, you ready?
Ready.
I'm gonna remember who we are this time.
We've only done this like 45 times.
Shut up!
And now you mess up.
Shut up! I'm only human. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to our podcast. We are the Babbling Sisters. I'm Nellie.
And I'm Steph.
Told you I was going to remember this time, only because I reminded myself
I'm proud
what
of you.
I needed to say. However, today we are talking about friends. That's how you titled it, right? I do this almost every single episode. Right?
Yes. It's literally what
Too
you told me.
busy.
You told me. I was dancing. You told me the title. I wrote. I typity-typity-deed. The title.
Friends.
How many of us got them?
Friends.
That's all I got. I'm not doing it anymore. So it's all the people need.
Ones we can depend on.
It's all the people need. They don't.
Anyway, we are going to be talking about all things good and bad friendships. More so, bad for me right now, inventing. But also some insightful things that I have learned.
Yeah, I've learned some things along the way. In my age.
One thing I've definitely come to grips with is it's quality over quantity.
Oh, 100%. I've always had that, though. That's never been a
You
problem for me.
have.
Yeah.
But I was always the friendly person and always accepted people in as my friends. And I have come to know that friends are pretty much like a relationship. You need to pick and choose who you are giving that title to.
Yep.
Friendships are actual work.
Yeah, they are.
And they are very one-sided. And I feel like a lot of friendships of mine have been one-sided. And I haven't dumped them. Like, if I was dating them, like, I would have fucking kicked their asses to the curb a long time ago.
One of my hardest things, especially for some more than others, like for acquaintances, it's pretty easy. Like, if it's not working, we're not vibing, it's not, yeah. But, like, people who, like, I've actually considered friends, I have a really hard time figuring out, like, when their expiry date has happened and when it's time to let it go. You know, I have a really hard time with that. I'm trying to be better about it, but it's really hard.
I still struggle with it. I struggle with saying things that I feel or really want to say because I don't want to intentionally hurt someone's feelings, even though I feel like it's needed. You know?
Yep.
But I have a very hard time when I feel like a relationship is one-sided. Like, extremely hard time.
Yeah.
But for my friends, I tend to stick it out. And I wear my heart on my sleeve, and I tend to give
You
a
tend to
lot to
stick all
people who
relationships out
don't
longer
deserve.
than you should, though.
Yeah.
That's
Well, I mean, I stopped that.
good. No, that's good. But now it's time to extend that to all relationships and not
Oh, well, I
just,
have.
yeah, good.
I have. I mean, over the last year, I have, well, actually more than that because it started back in like 2019 where I cut off, you know who. Not going to say her name, but we were friends for 20 plus years.
Oh,
Um, and it was just toxic and one-sided. Like it was always me being positive and me putting in the effort and me going to her. And yeah, she came up here with Sky and whatever, like, but it was always like a quick little turnaround visit, or she was doing something else, so she was up here type thing. Um, but once I found out she was talking about me to other people, and here's the thing. I always try to see the good in people, and I always give them the benefit of the doubt until they prove me wrong.
right.
And even when they prove me wrong, I still tend to try to give them the benefit of the doubt, right?
Yeah, well, we all make
Um,
mistakes too, and that's something that
right.
you always keep in mind. Like, how would you want to be treated if you happen to do X, Y, Z? You
Right.
know?
But let me just say this. If you have a friend, I'm using air quotes here, people, because not
There is
they're
such
not my
thing as
friends.
fake friends, like someone that you think that is
Yes,
a real friend that is truly toxic
correct.
and not, yeah,
Correct. And this person was. Um, and that was a hard pill for me to swallow because I looked at her like my sister.
yeah,
Um, but when you have someone around you who's constantly talking negative about her other friends, okay,
yeah,
don't be naive like me and think that you are the exclusion,
yeah. No, you're
okay?
definitely not. She's just
Because
talking about you to someone else.
if
Yeah,
that person is talking about everybody, and I mean
right.
everybody, people who she says she loves, who she calls her sister, like everybody, like they would go down and visit her, and it would be like, oh my God, I can't wait for this bitch to leave, and this, that, like so many negative things that she could not stand about these people, how they bothered her, how she wants them out of her space. Like, I was a fool
Yeah,
to think that I was the one exclusion to the rule, and to think that she wasn't feeling that way or talking about me like that to people. Oh, she was.
yeah. That's unfortunate.
She was. And she said some shit about me and my child that set me off.
Yeah, no, that's not cool.
So I went about my
When you
business.
think, when you like honestly, like, do people have like that much like no self awareness to like know that if they have a problem with everyone around them, then maybe they're the problem since they're like the common denominator. You know what I mean? Like,
And
do people really lack that much self awareness? Like, am I
well,
have I
on
been in my bubble too
another
long?
no, on another one of our episodes, Mr. No did say that. Like
Yeah.
if you seem to have an issue with everyone, like you got to look at the common
Right.
denominator, right?
Right.
It's difficult for people to do that because it's so much easier to play the victim and so much
Mm.
easier to place the blame on everyone else. And when you think about it, that's exactly what she did. So if you remember back, it was always, oh my God, why does everything always go wrong with me? Why does everyone hate me? Why is everyone so mean to me? Why does everyone always do me so
Yeah.
wrong?
See, we didn't
Like,
have those
it
type of
was
conversations when we
all,
talked. So
you've
it
never heard
wasn't
her say any, oh my God, all the
no,
time.
like it wasn't we were always pretty
From
positive
her
with each
family
other.
to
So I
friends
don't
to
yeah.
boyfriends.
Like I know she complained with you, like I would hear you guys like bitching
Yeah.
together in the other room, but like I didn't know it was all that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I honestly, like, I tried to see the best in her.
Yeah.
And I would be upset at to how people would treat her because I'm like, you're such a great person. You're such a great friend. Wrong.
Yeah.
Wrong. That was a tough lesson learned.
I mean, we
But
tend to put our blinders on and see what we want and not necessarily the whole picture, you know?
yeah.
Whereas if we take a step back and actually evaluate things, we may see things differently.
hmm Yeah. I had to start telling myself because I expect a lot from my friends, but I don't uphold them. Meaning, I love hard. I give my all. I'll be there
Yeah.
for you. You need me, I'm dropping everything. I'm coming. Like, my first initial knee-jerk reaction is, what do you need? I'm here. And I've had to stop extending myself. Um, and that goes for everyone. It's not just people who are undeserving, but just everyone, because I overextend myself to 98% of the people in my life.
Yeah. I had a really hard time
You
with
know?
that too. I did that a lot. But I've been working on that for a while now. I've gotten a lot better. There's still some people that I have a really hard time saying no to.
Yeah.
But for the most part, I'm pretty good with that now.
But there are people in your life, your friends, family even, but um, who we expect so much from because we give so much to.
Yeah.
But I can't expect from others what I give because I know I'm the exception. I give a lot.
Yep.
You know, I just have to start limiting who I give my all to.
Yeah.
That way I won't be disappointed, you know?
Yeah.
Um, but I feel like people don't take friendships serious anymore, just like they don't take relationships serious anymore. And I'm not built like that.
I think it's different. I think that people don't know how to people anymore. I think that we've gone into an age of technology where we're mostly behind our phones, and that's how we do most of our interactions now. So when it comes to like maintaining and keeping actual relationships, people just don't know. They're not taught. They don't see healthy relationships in their lives. They don't. I honestly think that it's more that. Like, I don't. I think that's really what it comes down to.
Hmm. That's a good point. That's a good point. Um, no, I feel like people take friends for granted.
That too.
No.
Absolutely. Especially
And I know I
long-standing
have.
friends. Yep.
Yeah. I know I have. I've been at fault of it. When I'm going through something or, I I'm the type of friend where if you're like in my circle, I'm reaching out all the
Yeah.
time. But when it gets to a point where I feel like I'm the only one reaching out, I'm falling back.
Yep.
And when we no longer communicate, it proves to me that
Right.
it was very one-sided.
Right.
And then I have to remind myself because I'm also not that great at texting everyone anymore. I used to be.
I'm so bad.
I used to always be on the phone. I used to always text everybody, check-ins, what's going on, what's happening. And I've had to dial that back and really like recharge my own energy when it comes to it. And like I'll reach out here and there. Like I just reached out to one of my friends and he's traveling right now, but I'm like I haven't reached out since I moved back home and I love him dearly.
Yeah.
Um, but I'm just like I haven't had the mental space to do what I would typically do. And it doesn't mean that I don't hold value to these friendships anymore. It's just
Absolutely.
you're not constantly around, so the communications aren't constant. But
Yep.
there's no love lost. There's
Right.
no value lost.
Right.
There's definitely friends for different spaces and different things,
Absolutely.
but my heart is still open to these friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, I totally get that.
Um,
There are some friends that I haven't. Oh, excuse me. That I haven't talked
yeah,
to in years.
really.
But if they were to call me right now, I'd actually answer the phone for them. Like, there's only a couple,
hmm
but I actually
Right.
would.
And
Like,
you would pick up like no time was
right.
lost. Because when you have that true friendship, time and space don't matter.
Mm-hmm.
They mean nothing, you
Yep.
know? Um, but yeah, I've learned that friends are gonna be the ones who are gonna fight for you. Like, and I'm talking about fighting like for your time, for your attention,
Yeah.
fighting to not lose you, to let you know, like, hey, I
Fighting for your
care.
improvement
Um,
and your growth.
right, right. They're gonna respect you. They're gonna have integrity and include you, be
Yeah.
loyal. Like, it's literally like a
Yeah,
relationship,
it really is. I was
but
when
without the sexual
yeah,
benefit.
when I
You
was
know?
when I was making my notes, I even wrote friendship/partnership because I'm like it's literally the same
Yeah,
thing.
it is. And they're gonna encourage you. They're gonna
Yeah.
let you know that they need you, they want you, that they're deserving of your time. They're gonna stand by you. A fake friend is not gonna do any of that.
Yep.
A fake friend is gonna be there in your good times, but then when the bad times happen, they're gone.
Right.
Do you know how many friends, people I thought were friends, that I lost when I had Sky? When you go through the
Yeah.
most traumatic time of your life, that's when the true people shine through. And I hated hearing from some people who I thought were really great friends, like, oh, just because I don't reach out doesn't mean I don't care. No, that's exactly what it means, especially when you know your friend is going through something very traumatic.
Right.
And I get that you may not know what to say,
Right.
and it may be even difficult for you, but imagine what your friend is going through.
Right. A
And
simple
just
text
reach
of
out to
like
say,
I'm thinking of
just say,
you
yeah,
when you get a
send a
chance.
heart
Right.
emoji. Or
Like
say, I have no idea what to say. This is so fucking difficult,
right.
but I love you and you're on my mind.
Right. It's not that
If you
hard.
need anything, let me know.
It's not that hard.
But here's the thing, when you say if you need anything to a friend, fucking mean it. Have some integrity behind that shit, because when your friend comes to you when they need something and you make excuses, you a ain't shit friend. Okay?
Hmm.
Like, that's the one thing I hate, is where you hear people like, if you need anything at all, let me know. And then they're
I
never
feel like
there.
yeah, I feel like that's become a knee jerk thing in our society too. Like one of those
Uh,
things like if something negative happens and like you're hearing about it, you kind of don't know what to say and what to like how to like react, you know what I mean? And your first thing is like, "Well, if you need anything, let me know." And like, do you really mean that? Like most people don't. Most people are just saying it because they feel like that's the right thing to say.
I say it and I mean it.
Yeah.
And that's what bothers me. You know, I'd be the first person to give my shirt off my back.
Yep.
I will walk out with my titties and my ass out so that you're covered.
Please don't. I don't need to see it.
Shut up. They're beautiful. um, but like, I'll give people money, even if I have to, well, not anymore, but even if I had to struggle and move things around, or when unexpected
Right.
expenses came
Yeah.
up and
You did that
I
too
struggled,
often.
like,
Yeah.
I I did.
Yep. We've learned that lesson though.
We have.
Good.
We have. Um, with multiple people.
Yep.
And it truly, honestly, like, hurts my feelings. Not gonna lie. I don't know if that's just me being overly sensitive.
Nope.
Um, but it's not so much about the money. It's about the lack of respect, of knowing that, one of the things, let me just proceed this by saying, I don't like people fucking with my time, my family, or my money. Don't steal my shit. Don't take my shit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
if I give it to you as a loan, pay me back. If you can't pay me back,
Talk
tell
to
me.
me. Yeah, seriously. Just talk. Like,
I I pride myself on being a very understanding person, and it genuinely hurts my feelings when a friend cannot come to me
right.
and say what's going on. When I have to constantly ask, or remind someone, or it makes me feel like I'm begging for my shit back,
Right.
or even for you to just respect me and acknowledge that you owe me.
Right.
You know, like, I don't care how much time passes or, how much you can't give me
I
or
don't care
if
if
you
it's
can give me
$5 a month.
$20. Right.
Whatever.
Like, that's not my problem. My problem is when I feel like you don't respect what I did for you.
Yep.
Um, because I gave out of the kindness of my heart to help you. It wasn't anything selfish to get anything back but what I'm owed.
Yep.
Like, I'm not asking you to pay interest. I'm not giving you something in hopes that you'll give me something at a later date. Like, it's not
Right.
that tit for tat. Like, I'm giving you money, pay me back.
Right. It's not that hard.
You know what I mean? And I have one friend um, who owes me money, and he acknowledges it.
Mm-hmm.
And he tells me, like, this is what's happening. I'm going through this hard time. And I know for damn sure what's happening with him.
Yeah.
He tells me, he's like, I know I owe you this money. I feel like a shitty ass friend. My bad. This came up, blah, 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 whatever. Cool. You know? And
Yep.
then there are people who take my money and don't mention it.
Right. Act like they didn't owe you back or
Right.
go on trips somewhere. It's fantastic. Anyway, yeah,
Yes.
I'm getting worked
Yes.
up.
And it's hard. It's hard for me to then understand, like, okay, you might be struggling, but then you're going on these extravagant trips and you still owe me money.
Right.
You're buying all of these things and flaunting online or flaunting to me
Right.
of what purchases you've made that are in like thousands of dollars, and you still owe me my money. And I'm like, yo, that's just so disrespectful and a slap to my face that you're
So
really doing that.
I f-
Or they just don't mention it at all.
right.
And
Which is also
there
terrible.
there is a person who is related to us who borrowed money in a hard time. Cool. Gave him the money. And then twice after that came back. Still struggling. Needed money. Gave him the money. Has not mentioned anything at all. But because I brought up the 4th of July, I wasn't celebrating it, has not talked to me since. So I'm like, all right, well, that money's lost, and that relationship clearly is lost as well.
Right.
Family or not, um, it's not cool.
Mm-mm.
Like, I helped you out because I could, not because I needed to. It's because I wanted to. And you can't even acknowledge that or pay me back. Or you just bring it up. Like, hey, I know you loan me this money. I can't pay you back. I'm really sorry. Cool.
I feel like it's harder to have friendships when you're older. There's so many like extra things. It's so much easier when you're younger.
Well, like, I would,
Like,
and
want
you
to
know
be
what the
best
thing is, like,
friends? We're best friends.
right. I would never do that to people, though,
No, I
especially to
know.
someone who I call a friend.
I know.
You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
yeah.
when I've owed something to someone, I have felt incredibly fucking horrible. Like, I will struggle before I'll ask anyone for help, whether it be money or with anything at all.
Yeah.
And it's like, how many times have my friends yelled at me and told me over and over again, like, you need to ask for help. You need to tell people what you need. And I'm just like, I don't know. Because I was so used to just handling it on my own.
Friendships need to be a balance. It can't be all
Right.
one-sided in any aspect. It can't be all one-sided in
Mm.
complaining. It has to be good times and bad times. It can't be all one-sided, one person helping the other. It has to be equal. And so, like, not 50-50, but it has to be reciprocated. You all know the word.
Mhm.
Of how, like, everyone has to be happy with the outcome of it. Like, nobody should feel slighted or, you know what I mean? Like, it needs to be equal in that sense,
Right.
if that makes sense.
No, it definitely does. It definitely does. I've honestly had to sit back and say to myself, like, if I treated you the way you treated me, you would fucking hate me. So why am I giving you the benefit of the doubt? You know, and really sit back and like evaluate the people in your life. If you started treating them the way that they treat you,
Maybe you should
how would that friendship go?
try it.
I've literally come to that conclusion where it's like, however you treat me is how I'm going to treat you moving forward.
Try it. See
And
how it works out.
it's not a tit for tat. I'm
Yeah.
matching energy. Unless your energy's super negative, I'm just ghosted. Because I refuse to be a negative ass person. But if you're not holding value to the friendship, neither am I. If you're not reaching out, neither am I. If you're not speaking encouraging words and putting positivity into me, neither am I. And it's not to say that if my friend is having a bad day that I won't do
Of
that. That's
course.
different. I just want to clarify. I'm not a cold-hearted bitch, okay?
But again, it goes
Um,
back to the
so,
idea that the friendship is reciprocated. Like, it's not just.
correct.
If it's all being one sided in something, that's when you're gonna go
Yeah.
match the energy there.
Yeah. And it's crazy. It just sucks that, you have to do shit like that. Like, I have a big heart.
Yeah.
I really do. And I love hard for my friends, family, relationships. Like, if I'm giving something, I'm giving my all. Like, you're not gonna just get a piece of me unless you're getting to know me. You're getting pieces of me along the way. But as soon as you're in, you get all of me. There's no holding back. I'm gonna love on you and make sure you know how much I care about you to the point where I'm gonna annoy you. I fully acknowledge that flaw of mine. Sorry, not sorry. But I'm gonna have to start treating you the way you treat me. And I tend to now keep my tight circle, very small. And my walls very high. Like, you can't get in. There's no more scaling and creeping up, looking over the walls, and me just being like, oh, well, you made it that far. Come on in. No, there's no getting in
See,
unless I let you in.
I don't have any walls.
And it's a revolving door now. It used to not be. It used to be a one way. You were in, and because you were in for so long, I allowed you to stay, but you created a negative space in my space. So that door has revolving now. I'm kicking your ass right back out. You got to go. you can't stay in here no more because you are not gonna defecate in this beautiful space. Okay, you just a rotten corpse in the corner. Your cobwebs and shit. Like, nah, bitch, you gotta go. You gotta go. Can't do it.
No.
Just because a friend has a big heart, don't ever underestimate them because everyone gets to that breaking point.
Of course.
And when I stop talking, I'm at that point.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna have to remind you to be a friend. I'm not
No.
gonna have to remind you that I'm still here and you should probably respect me and talk to me. Like, okay. No, because you're clearly not holding value to the friendship. So why the fuck do I care? Right? Why do I care? And I used to care. And now I really don't. And my friend last night told me that I sounded so cold compared to the person that I was. Now he also said that he absolutely fucking loved it. But he was like, you sound so cold compared to the old version of you. And he's like, that's not a bad thing. I'm not saying that.
Yeah.
Because I was just like, I don't give a fuck. Because we were talking about somebody. And I was like, I don't give a fuck. I care about everyone's well-being. I wish them all well. But out of my space.
Right.
Okay? I wish you well. I don't wish any negativity upon anybody, no matter how wrong they've done me. But I also don't give a fuck about your day-to-day logistics. I don't care. Okay? I don't. It's just what it is.
Yep.
You know? I've also had to learn the hard lesson of we never truly lose a friend. Okay?
Okay. I'm listening.
You you only learn who they really are. So when you have a person who leaves your life, that wasn't ever truly your friend. You really got to sit back and you got to think about that. They
Okay.
held a purpose. They had an acquaintance status. But a true friend is never
Yeah.
going to depart your life in a negative way. Friendships grow apart, that's not what I'm saying. But you never lose a friend. If your friends, even though you grow apart and you don't talk that much, that's still your friend. The
Right.
people who you lose in a big blowout situation, that's not a friend. You're just seeing them for who they are. Because a friend is never going to allow that to dissolve that way.
I don't know. I'm gonna
For
have to
me,
sit
a
on
friend
that
is
for a
going
little
to want
bit.
to talk. Yeah, because for me, a friend is going to want to talk about it. A friend is going to want to not end things on a negative note. They're going to want to
Yeah.
clarify. They're going to
That's
care
true.
how you feel.
That's
You know what I
true.
mean? Like a real friend is going to care how you feel about a situation. A real friend is going to communicate with you and be like, "Yo, okay, this is what's going on. Yeah, here's how I fucked up. My bad. Here's how I feel about whatever happened with you." Like you have to really
Yeah.
truly value that friendship to do that, even if you still part ways.
Right.
So that's why I'm saying, like, you never truly lose a friend. You only gain perspective of who the person truly is.
Okay. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, that's how I see it. You definitely you learn who they are and you learn who your real ones are.
Yeah. That's I don't know.
Um,
It's a little
People
hard to
who I
swallow. I need
it
to
is.
I need to sit on that for a bit.
It is. People who I expected, now with going back to the most traumatic part of my life, people who I expected to be there weren't. People who I did not expect to be there weren't. I was spending time focusing on the people who I was putting so much into that I wasn't seeing the people who were putting into me because I was focused on trying to put more into the people who were not giving back, thinking that something was wrong because I held so much value to those people.
Yeah.
And I really had to stop and think, like, yo, this ain't it. If a person wants to be in your life, they're going to be in your life. If they want to make time for you, they're going to make time for you. I hate the excuse of, oh, well, I just don't have time.
Well, time can be hard
You
depending on
find,
what you're
you
asking for. But
find
there's
time.
ways, there's
Right.
ways
Just,
without
I'm just
having
talking
to
about even just
physically
a simple
connect,
text.
like to go out. Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
this
I'm just
texting,
talking
this
about a
FaceTime. I
simple
mean, with
text.
technology today, there's ways to
Yeah,
have that. Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
just a simple text. That's all I'm saying. There were some of my friends, air quotes, that couldn't even do that,
Yeah. That's a bummer.
especially when in the midst of a storm, you know? When I know a friend is going through something, I reach out. If I don't know someone's going through something, I can't be faulted for it. And I can't fault other people because there were plenty of people in my life who I didn't tell I was going through anything. I can't fault them for not being there for me.
Right.
But I have heard other people say, like, oh, well, they weren't there for me. But did you tell them what the fuck was going on? How can you expect a friend to just automatically know, like fucking Cleo, that you're going through something and then getting mad at them because they're not there?
Yeah. That's not cool either.
I don't I don't understand. Yeah.
I don't know. I don't.
Make it make sense.
I can't.
You know? Um, One thing I don't know if you've heard people say, but like they look at friendships of what can these people do for me? like what value can they bring to me? Not simply valuing the person for just being you.
Right.
But what can you do for me? I don't like that.
No, that's very selfish. It's what we
But
should.
a lot of people do.
It's what we should be. What we're like doing for each other. Like, what am
Right.
I bringing? What are they like? What are we all bringing?
Right. But a lot of people hold friendships and even relationships on what can you do for me that I can't do for myself, instead of just valuing that person and valuing their time and their love.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Just seems a little shitty to me.
Mm-hmm.
I
And
honestly.
they're not living their best life by doing it that way.
Hello?
They're not getting the best out of everybody, and the best out of themselves.
Mm-hmm. It is better to have like one friend who has the greatest value to your life. And I'm not talking about monetary value. Just a person who you can count on, who you can go to, who you can talk to, who gets you, who you can be yourself around. Someone who truly compliments you and knows, like, just knows you,
Yeah.
than to have a bunch of people who were good for nothing. I was that person who had so many friends who ain't shit. And I had to realize, like, I'm passing around fucking the friendship title like it's a rampant STD out in these streets. Like, that's not that's not a good look. Like, they all caught the Nelly bug, like, just running around. And I was pouring everything into
No.
all those people.
It's not good.
No. But at the same time, like, do we really value our true friends? What are we doing to let our true friends know? You don't need to let them know every day, but like at least once in a while,
Yeah.
you gotta let your friends know what they mean to you. And
It's
I,
true.
I do that. Like,
I try. I'm bad. So I've always been bad with friendships. Like as a kid I didn't really make them because there was no point. We were going to be moving who knows when, so why? Like I didn't bother. And then as I got older, it wasn't easy. Like I'm not an outgoing person, so it's not easy for me to go and spark a conversation with someone. Um
especially now for adults.
yeah. But I have tried, like, and I've done pretty good the past couple of years. I've made some new friends, and I have tried, but I have a hard time maintaining the friendship. Like, because I go through dips and stuff where I'm, like, super on point and I'm communicative and I can talk to you all the time and hang out and we're cool. And then I go through periods where it's like, I don't want to talk to anybody. Like,
You don't
unless
like people.
unless I really have to, like, speak to you, I don't want to talk to anybody. So it's really hard. It's like I feel bad, and like I try to be upfront with them. Like it's not you, it's me. But
Right.
2023 is one of my goals is to be better about maintaining my relationships, and to like try to be on top of that.
Honestly, like, I feel like your real friends know that about you.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's just,
I hope so.
I don't know.
I love you.
It's difficult, right? Like, I I'd always, like, whenever I'm like going through stuff before. So let's talk about me in the third person. The old Nelly, No matter what I was going through, no matter what was happening. I could be literally laying in the emergency room waiting to have emergency surgery in pain. And if a friend texted or called and something was wrong, I was there for them. I would always say, it doesn't matter what I'm going through, I got you. Don't worry. You can hit me up anytime. And I held true to that. No matter what anyone was going through, I would answer right away. I'd be responding, giving all my attention, all my opinion, all my love, my support, everything. Helping with solutions like, I'm fixing this shit. And I had to learn the hard lesson of I was there for everyone and not many people were there for me. I needed to stop being there for people who were never there for me.
Yeah.
And they're still to this day, because I have stopped the need, and I know that it's a me problem because people just expect for me to be there, expect for me to answer right away. And when I don't respond to text messages or calls right away, they get upset.
Yeah.
Or they want to play the victim and, oh my God, you must hate me. What did I do to you? Why aren't you answering me? Like, why are you mad? Because I got other things to do. I'm busy.
Yeah.
When I find the time or want to respond, I will. When I want to give it my energy, I will. If I never want to, don't expect a response. I had someone text me and I'm just like, your text holds no value and it's a little aggressive. Delete. I'm not even going to give you any energy to respond back to and let you know. My lack of response lets you know everything you need to know. You know, and I used to feel like I had to respond to people and I had to let them know, like, okay, well, why are you upset? What's going on? Why are you talking to me like this? Like, I didn't do anything to you. And literally, like, fighting for what? It's not worth it. So I have now, if I'm going through something or I'm dealing with something or doing something, or even if I'm just relaxing and in my little comfort bubble, you ain't getting in. Unless it's a true emergency for a true friend. But if it's you just want to bitch and complain about someone or something, save the drama. I don't want to hear it. I am so tired of just sitting there listening to people complain about the same shit over and over again. It doesn't matter how many times I give you great advice. You still complaining about this shit years later? Why are you coming back to me for more advice? I gave it to you. You chose not to take it. I can't. I can't. I really honestly questioned whether or not I could just be a friend anymore.
Oh. Yes, you
I'm so
can.
serious. I know, but I'm so serious because with everything that I went through
Yeah.
and just life changes, I'm just like, I don't have the mental capacity
Right.
that I used to, nor the want. So I'm like, can I really be that good of a friend for someone anymore? And I know I can,
Yeah.
but for newer people,
The problem is that you've had another enlightening phase. So like you've moved on to the next level and you're Nelly you. Like
level up.
you leveled
The
up.
new Nelly.
Yep, the new Nelly, you leveled up. Exactly. And they haven't leveled up. So now you're seeing this drastic, like, you've moved up a couple spots. They're still down here. And there's this, like, well, what the fuck? You know? You need to find some friends that have leveled up or are leveling up so that they can match.
Them, and they're staying in my little circle.
Yep.
See. For those who are not watching, I put a circle up and look through it. Yeah, I'm no longer caring how long you've been my friend. It's how good of a friend you are. And we all go through our moments. We all
Mm-hmm.
take the brunt of the friendship. sometimes we have to lead, sometimes we have to ride.
Yep.
But it has to be evened out at some point.
The ebbs and flows have to match out, and
yeah.
It has
like
to.
I said, I mean, no love lost, just a new perspective, and no more love given. I still wish everyone the best. I just can't be the best for you.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
But yeah, it's sad when newer people in your life come in and they're like, what value does this person hold to you? Because this doesn't make sense. And I'm like, shut the fuck up. Shut up right now. I know. I be knowing. I just allow it to go on for far too long.
Yeah. It's hard. It's hard letting go. It's hard letting go of friends.
Yeah. There are some people I let go, and if they text me and I'm not doing anything, I'll reply. I'm not going to be ignorant and rude, but I'm not reaching out. I'm not opening my soul up to you. I'm not venting to you. I'm not asking you to hang out. I'm not including you in things I'm doing. I'm not hitting up, be like, hey, I want to go here. You want to go? No, because you're just in a different category. I have sub boxes. You're filed away.
I get that.
I'm giving you what you give me. You can't call me to talk to me about whatever went wrong or whatever you did wrong that I got upset about. And I made it very clear what I'm upset about. You can't call me and just talk it out. Cool. That's cool. That's your choice.
Mm-hmm.
I can't force you to do it. But I'm also not going to call you. Whereas before, I used to be like, what's going on? What's it? Hello? 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 Why are you not calling me? Are you mad? What did I do?
No.
What's happening? What's going on? Are you okay? No. Nope.
No.
Nope. You gotta watch people.
There's not enough energy or time for all that.
Energy drainers is what they are, right? They're gonna be those people who, if you realize like you're always the one to set up plans, you're always the one to go to them, those are energy drainers.
Always exhausted after you have hung out with them, and not because you were like dancing or having a ball, but because they mentally drained you.
Right.
Yep. You should feel replenished after a night out. Like, you should feel like hyped and not.
And last night I did. The friends that I hung out with, I felt great. I was up. I was like, woo, woo, yay.
Woo, woo.
So happy. Love it. I still got the little glow happening. This isn't makeup. This is just my happiness. It's like, there are some people who I've hung out with, I'm like, this is exhausting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I honestly did not think I was going to have a voice to record today, but here I am.
You did it. You did it.
Yay. Yay.
Yeah. No, friendships are hard, especially when you get older.
Fuck a fake friend. That's going to be the motto of the podcast. Yeah. I think we just need to reevaluate what friend means.
Yeah.
And stop giving out the title just to give it out. Not everyone is your friend. And it doesn't mean that you can't be friendly with them, but not everyone is your friend.
I think you can still call them friends, but have levels of friends. Because, like, there are some friends that you're, like, lighthearted with, and, like, your acquaintance friends that you can,
work. It's not a friend.
There's your work friends. There's some, like, people that you're friendly with and have friendly friend-type interactions with, on a regular basis.
There are co-workers who turn into friends. I have those. I don't have friends that I work with that are just worker friends.
Yeah, but there aren't people that like that you're friendly with at work that you don't really hang out with.
You said the word friendly. I
Yeah.
said not everyone is your friend.
No,
Doesn't mean
not
you can't
everyone
be
is your friend.
friendly.
Yeah.
You could be friendly with the people. I'm friendly with coworkers, absolutely. But there are some coworkers who are legit friends, who I have left the job and they're still my friend. And then there are some who I left the job and I left them behind as well. I was friendly with them. They wasn't my friend. Mm-mm.
I
Mm-mm.
don't know.
I am friendly with a lot of people.
I
I
get
am.
that.
I'm very friendly, very loving, very caring.
I don't know.
Like I can talk to a stranger about their problems and walk away and not give a fuck. I gave you my advice in the moment. I cared in the moment. You're not my friend. You're not coming home with me. But I left something. Here's a little reminder of how amazing I fucking am. Here you go. Here's a gem. Take that. But you're still not my friend. No. An acquaintance is not a friend.
Okay.
An acquaintance is an acquaintance.
Okay.
I agree there are different levels of friendships.
Yeah.
And there
That's
are,
it. That's all I'm saying.
friends for every season.
Yep.
And there are, in my friends, I have different friends that fit different things. There are some friends that I can go to for certain things, some friends I can't.
Yeah.
It
Well,
doesn't make them any less value of a friend to me. There's just different levels and different reasoning for different friends where they fit in my life. And then there are best friends. And that you got to be very careful who you give that out to. Very careful.
yeah,
But yeah, have as many friends as you want.
It's a very limited title, that one.
Yes. Yes, it is. Especially for me, because when I truly look at you as a best friend, like a real best friend, your family. So I'm calling you sis, big bro. Like, your fam. You've entered a different level.
Yeah.
So I don't keep many people in the best friend category anymore. I used to always be like, oh, that's my bestie. No. I don't know.
I think there's maybe been a handful of people in my life. Maybe, and that's even pushing it.
I don't even think so.
Yeah, I don't even think that this. Yeah, I'd have to sit down and try to count. I don't think so. I think that's pushing it.
That's definitely pushing it.
Whatever. How?
I'm just saying. But yes, I mean, you could have as many friends as you want. But be careful who you put into your inner circle and who you give your all to. But you want to have all the friends in the world, have all the friends in the world. But don't be disappointed when that friend don't show up.
I think that's the difference for me. I don't think that, as far as like relying on friends, it's usually like the best friends that...
Your core.
Yeah. Like, but the rest of the people that I call friends, like, I don't depend or rely on them. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I could probably call a couple of them and they would probably help out, no problem. But for the most part, like, I don't think that I would go to them unless it was, like, really, 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 really bad. Why can't I hear you? Oh, okay, now I hear you.
What?
It looked like your mouth was moving, but I heard no sound, and I'm like, why can't I hear you? I'm not...
We have entered a new level. Oh, look at that. No, son. But yeah, I would just say let's reevaluate.
That's something else I should do this year. I want to
Really
reevaluate that and reevaluate, like, all of the people in my life. And see. which ones I need to focus on, which ones I want to focus on, and who needs to be moved around and shuffled.
Weeded out.
It feels off. Like something's tilted. You know, I don't know.
Yeah.
I got to rebalance. Yeah. So that's what 2023 is going to be about. Fixing it and rebalancing.
Getting to that age where enough is enough. A lot of people our age are still playing high school games.
I'm too old for that.
Like, grow up and move on. I don't got time. I'm not gonna be fighting at the corner store for you no more.
That brings back memories.
Literally, though. Anyway, on that note, I think I've dropped enough friend gems. Quite honestly, I'm exhausted talking about these fake friends. So, yeah. And, just start reevaluating. Start thinking about what you truly hold dear. And are you yourself holding that value with your friends? Don't just expect that shit from them. Like, are you, what you truly define as a friend, are you being that friend? And if not, you should really reevaluate yourself as well.
That's on my list too. I'm not getting out of this easy peasy. I'm not putting it on everybody else. I got to reevaluate me too.
Yeah. I know I have shortcomings. There are some friends who I haven't reached out to. There are some, they haven't reached out to me. And then there are some friends who have reached out, and I just have not reached out as much as would be expected. Yeah. I'm not going to say as much as I should, because I don't need to hold a certain level. Like, my friends know me, and they know my true heart and my intention, and I never do anything to be petty, right, unless you've done something wrong to me, and you get all the petty. Okay, get all the petty. But I'm also learning it's just not worth it. I'm gonna tell you where you fucked up, and then I'm not gonna speak on it again.
Yep.
So there are a few people who are going to be hearing. Maybe they'll watch this podcast and they'll know what's coming to them. But there's a few people lined up in the queue to be hearing what they need to hear. And then I'm not speaking on it ever again. Moving on.
Yep.
So, on that note, now that we've dropped all these gems, I'm done. Are you done?
I'm done.
Okay. Friends.
Yep.
All right. On that note, until next time, truly value your real friends. If you don't know who they are, figure that the fuck out. Love yourself. Be kind. And just remember, it's all a bunch of BS. Bye. Oh, we were synced up on that one.
Power of the finger wave.
Purr. Finger wave. Purr. Purr. Let me